if it weren't for the fact that every big game we've had this season, when it's come down to the wire, we've absolutely bottled, I would feel a lot more comfortable about these last two games in La Liga. We're currently 5 points ahead of second place Barcelona, but we're playing them the last week of the season. We got to get through Alaves first. And frankly, I don't know, call me crazy, but I feel a bottle job of Dr. Benji proportions coming on. My name's FM20, and it's time to get Réal. And this is what I'm talking about. After that 7-3 thumping Barcelona gave us in the Copa del Rey, we have been on an absolute tear. We beat Sociedad 3-0, a brace of goals by Ross Broyce, and an extra time goal by Jed Christie. We shut out Betis 2-0 thanks to goals by Miko Stevic and Jed Christie. Against Granada, we shut them out. Robert Maria, Ahmed Uche, and Barry Verdonka goal. Now comes Alaves and Barcelona. We are currently on 90 points. We've clinched Champions League football. We've got 92 yellow cards. This frustrates me more than anything else. At one point in time, we were like well below. Kev has the Kev ratio. I'm going to call this the Jellicoe ratio. Fewer yellow cards than total points. I would like to beat this on a consistent basis. But today, we're playing 13th place Alaves, who are a solid squad, and then we're playing Barcelona. If we beat Alaves, we clinch. If we draw and Barcelona wins, we clinch based on goal differential and head to, no. The tiebreakers results between teams. And we've lost Barcelona. We lost to Barcelona 4-2. So we've already lost to Barcelona 4-2. Oh, I totally forgot about that. We need to beat Alaves. That's all it comes down to. We need to beat Alaves. And that's going to be a little bit harder because Miko Stevic and Daniel Pagano, Pagano's my starting defensive left back, is out for the rest of the season. And Stevic's out too. They both twisted Stevic twisted his ankle and Pagano has a sports hernia. So, fun times. Broderson's a good defensive left back. He's just 18 years old and not all that experienced. And the last time I played him defensive left back, he absolutely got abused. So, part of me says I need like a medium-sized animal sacrifice or something. The other part of me says I'm just living inside my own head. And, frankly, I got enough room in there. The voices say there's plenty of room. So, you know what? Let's just get this underway. We're playing Alaves next. I'm going to double check my best available 11, set the reserves, and we're going to get it underway here in just a few. Oh, do they still have anybody I recognize? No, they are all regens. New gens. Something gens. We got Seferovic in goal, Broderson, Uche, Benvenuti, and Zarin as the defensive back four. Gusto and Malo as the midfielders. Verdonk and Israel as the attacking midfielders. Maria and Christie up top as the strikers. I'm playing Maria at complete forward today and Christie at advanced forward just to see how well that partnership looks out. Normally I have that reversed, but I want to see what happens today. Augusto with the corner kick. Benvenuti. Malo gets the rebound, tries kicking it in. Maria and Perez, a very nice block. Gusto sends the corner kick in again. Benvenuti takes the shot, and it goes off Christie and in for the goal. Except they're not counting it, and I couldn't see why. They're saying he's offsides. Gusto again. Knocked away by Aspinall. Broderson runs it down. Gets it to Uche. Back to Benvenuti. Over to Malo. Israel. Gets around the one defender. Christie is there, and he powers it past the keeper for the goal. I'm going to take a closer look at him in the summertime. I think if the price is right and there's no one else out there who's better or has the potential to be better at the same price, I'll make a move for him. You know, I'm not going to pay 60 million euros for him. I might pay 28 or 30. We'll see. Gusto. Uche, and he pushes it wide left. Coming up on halftime, it's been a quiet first half. We've had 10 shots, 4 on target. They've had 3 and none. All the highlights have been ours. Reeves on the throw-in. Zarin steps in front of it, gets it to Israel. He taps up to Christie, who gets by the defender, one-on-one with the keeper, and blows it by Perez again. Something tells me Perez should have had a better chance of stopping that. Let's see what happens here. Israel. Christie? Oh, the defender made a poor play. He tried going for the ball. Christie went near post. Perez dove for it, but it was a bad play by the keeper. About 65 minutes in, you know what? Maria is not having the best game at complete forward. So we're going to bring on Ross Boyce. Anybody else having kind of a down game? Not particularly. Although Broderson is a bit gassed. So we're going to bring on Tasevsky. He is my 17-year-old defensive left back with potential. He's already 2-star current ability. He's got 5-star potential ability. Physically, he is solid. Mentally, he is very good where it counts. 13 anticipation, 13 concentration, decision-making, and determination. 16 teamwork, 16 work rate, 11 marking, 10 tackling. Those are improving. 12 technique. Those are improving. So he and Broderson are going to be switching off next year, I think, at defensive left back. Now, he plays a wing back as well, and that also has a lot of opportunities. So he's one of those players I screwed up and left on the B squad. So all the experience he has been on the B squad, and they frankly have not played very good teams. So we'll see how he does. Kirkaz sends it in. Benvenuti knocks it away, but Blazic Gunny sends it up to Cullen. He takes the shot, but Seferovic's right there. Blazic, that's his name. 10 minutes left in the game. Well, okay, now it's 10 minutes left in the game. I believe we just won La Liga. For some reason, my celebrations got turned off, and I'm not quite sure how I did it, and I can't figure out how to fix it. But we clinch. Holy cow. Wow. So it's the first time in 10 years we started playing the 2019-2020 season. Madrid's won it once. And now we have. That is very, very cool. Uche is happy the promise was kept. Maria is happy the promise was kept when we won silverware. I would have preferred it to be the Copa del Rey first, but beggars cannot be choosers. 4 years ahead of schedule in challenging for La Liga title. I'm one of the top American coaches. I also reached 600 games. Medals for La Liga win. Christie was stellar. And I think because we've clinched, the Barcelona game doesn't matter. And seeing as how it doesn't matter, I think what I'm going to do is just play it offline, and we'll come back and do an end-of-season review. And then we got to figure out what to do in the off-season, because there's going to be a lot of movement, and a lot of that is going to be completely out of my hands. So, back in a bit. Oh, dude, we totally got to do this. Okay, now we're going to be back in a bit. Well, we drew with Barcelona. It wasn't exactly the most exciting game of the world. There weren't a lot of highlights. Maria had a goal in the 8th minute. Goodnoy had a goal for Barcelona in the 82nd minute. We got 3 yellow cards. And that means we finished with 1 more yellow card than we did points. That's frustrating as all hell. We finished on 94 points, 8 points ahead of Barcelona because they lost their game against Atletico. Because they lost their game against Atletico when we beat Alaves. And I completely and totally missed that. I had assumed they were going to beat Atletico. I mean, hell, they beat us 7-3 for crying out loud. Jesus. I'm having a hard time sitting down because of that game. I'll be 100% honest with you. So Bayer Verdonk led us with 27 goals. Antonio Augusto a 7.55 rating. Israel and Antonio Augusto each had 21 assists. Through all competitions. Augusto had 10 players of the match. Benvenuti, 17 yellow cards. So the end of season awards. Antonio Augusto, player of the year. Rune Tollefson, the goal of the season. The Celta Vigo game in March. This was recent. Israel brings it forward. Oh, I remember that was the bicycle kick one. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was you don't expect to see something like that from a defensive left back. But yeah, that was a brilliant goal. Definitely goal of the season worthy. Miko Stevic signing of the season, $17.75 million from Red Star. Young player of the season, Robert Maria, 21 years old. Season review wise, we accomplished some of what we were after. We really need to start going farther in the Champions League. We won La Liga. That's great. We got our butts kicked on the Copa del Rey, but we competed. We were in first place throughout the majority of the season. We got off to a quick start, and both Madrid and Barcelona stumbled, and that really helped us. Team of 2025, where are they now? Traore's at Paris FC. 31 years old now. Went there on a free. Played 1 game for them. You got Bakary Yada playing defensive right back. That's interesting. He's playing for Al Rayyan, who I want to say are... No, they're Qatar. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay, Club Vision expectation meetings. Nothing's changed, really. 3-year contract. I can accept that current vision. End of season team meeting. We're going to qualify for the Champions League. We're at that point where we can't underpromise and overdeliver. Season injury report. Joseph, who's a youth player, was out the longest. Martin Olsen was out for 6 weeks, but it was technically 3 weeks because he had the broken rib when he got here. So I don't know how it's probably something in the background that means they can't record that quote unquote properly. Other than that, we were fairly healthy. Hrvanik was the one player that was out the longest. He was out 2 months with a torn abdominal muscle, and that I would consider to be a starter. He did get a decent amount of starting time, especially in the second half of the season. And then we come back July the 5th. Training camp destination. You know what? We're going to click over to here real quick. Holland, Austria, Switzerland, Scotland, Germany, England, Portugal, France, and the USA. We're going to Scotland because I like me some good scotch. Flip back to the right there. Confirm. Augusto won the Spanish Player of the Year. He had an astounding season all around. And now he's wanted by all the good teams. Verdonk, Scorer of the Year. 20 goals in 34 appearances. Helio, 20 goals. Okay. Seferovic, Goalkeeper of the Year. He beat Van den Eek out. A lot of that has to do with the fact we were first place. Pelham, me. Coach of the Year, beating Klopp and Gallardo. Wow, we had a lot of players in the first team and on the bench. That's nice to see. think Israel's a new record. Israel's 21 assists are a new record. Seferovic had 25 shutouts. That's a new record. Sevilla got relegated. Wow. Okay. I wonder if the Champions League's been played yet. Would help if I could spell Champions League. They're playing Arsenal. When are they playing? On the 29th. We'll find out about that next season. A lot of variety here. PSG won it back-to-back, but Juve, Leipzig, Barcelona, Man City, Dortmund, Arsenal, Man City. Okay, well, let's take a look at the players here. And they all left because I went 4 today. If we arrange them by appearances, Laszlo Seferovic, 54 appearances. Overall, 25 shots allowed. Oh, I'm sorry, 54 appearances, 55 shots allowed, 25 shutouts. He was absolutely solid for us. In 38 La Liga games, he allowed 26 goals. Robert Maria, 51 games, went off the bench, 25 goals, 4 assists, 3 players of the match. Israel, 48 appearances, went off the bench, 13 goals, 21 assists, 3 players of the match. Antonio Augusto, 46 appearances, 4 off the bench, 6 goals, 21 assists, 10 players of the match. Barry Verdonk, 46 appearances, 2 off the bench, 27 goals, 6 assists, 3 players of the match. Benvenuti had 7 goals, an assist, and 2 players of the match in 45 appearances. Ahmed Uche, solid this season as defensive center back. 45 appearances, 2 off the bench, 5 goals, 4 assists, a player of the match. Furman Malo, 7 assists. Or no, wait a minute, that's Daniel Pagano, 7 assists. Furman Malo, 3 goals, all from outside the box. They're all laser shots. 7 assists, 3 players of the match. These are my lone players that Okoro might be back here next year. I brought in some really good youth players as well. So it's a question of, is he going to be as good as or better than the players I have here? And if he is, am I going to be able to send him out? Amin Slimano is definitely going to be here next season. He will be my starting defensive right back. He can also play midfielder as well, so he's a good guy to have around. Bjorn Van Horn, 27 appearances, 16 off the bench, 2 goals, 6 assists, 1 player of the match. He's a midfielder. He can also play defensive right back. I might put him at defensive right back. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be an interesting offseason in terms of players I bring in. Well, a lot of it's going to depend on who leaves as well. So, Rune Tollefson, 20 appearances, 15 off the bench, 5 goals, 2 assists at the advanced midfielder on the left when he spelled Sutter. Jed Christie, 18 appearances, 2 off the bench, 10 goals, 3 assists, 3 players of the match in a half season. So, he is really, really good. He's got a decent amount of potential. He's valued at $21.5 million. So, we shall have to wait and see. At the very least, we might be able to get him back on. You know what? Let's see here. See if we can't get him back on loan. Miko Stevic, who really improved as the season went on. He will definitely get a lot of playing time next year. 15 appearances, 1 off the bench, 3 goals. Anders Brodersen, he will definitely get playing time next year. 9 appearances, 8 off the bench, 3 assists. Vaclav Hranek, he started the season on loan. I pulled him back. He got 7 appearances, 4 off the bench. He will definitely get playing time. One of my other options is moving Ahmed Uche over to defensive right back. And he's already fairly decent there. The problem is his crossing isn't the best. And if I was to compare him to, say, Van Horn, Van Horn is better technically. Not a lot better, but better. So, but a lot of that depends on who else is out there too. Resnicek, 5 appearances, 14 off the bench, 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 players of the match. Ross Boyce, 4 starts, 13 appearances off the bench, 2 goals, 3 assists, a player of the match. Herdier Mutsilia, who is one of the young midfielders I have, he'll probably be on loan next season. And Keon Ambrose, 9 appearances off the bench. This is his last season with us, I think. He's definitely wanted. So, Israel's wanted. Antonio Augusto's wanted. Benvenuti's wanted. Pagano is wanted. He is probably going to move on. Firmamala's wanted. He's going to stay here unless I get absolutely ridiculous money for him. Who's he wanted by? Hoffenheim. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be an interesting offseason here in Hayen. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I've got a lot of good young players that I need to figure out how and where I'm going to play them. Some of them are going to be going out on loan again, and that seems to have worked really well for us this save, where we bring in a player who's 16, 17 years old, send them out on loan for 3 years, they come back as a 21, 22-year-old ready to contribute, and fairly close to their potential. Benvenuti was like that. He's now a solid defensive center back. Israel was like, well, did I send Israel out on loan? I believe I did. Anyhow, it's going to be a good offseason. We're going to celebrate this La Liga victory for a long time. It's just the downs we had this season were absolutely killers. Losing in the Champions League the way we did was just annoying. Losing like we did in the Copa del Rey was just embarrassing on multiple levels. And we need to do something to turn that corner. And hopefully next year will be the start of that. So a good solid season for us. A great win in La Liga. It's kind of tampered by what we didn't do in the other competitions. But this is definitely a good stepping stone going forward. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. I'm FM20.